Hare Krishna, thanks for joining. We are on chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita. We are discussing about the soul, and we have done the verses up to 25. We'll be discussing from 26 onwards, but before that, we'll just summarize 25 first, and then we'll go ahead. But before that, we will do the um, bring in the auspiciousness by chanting the Mangalacharan verses. Those who remember, please chant with me, or if you don't remember, just hear it out. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutah Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda. Everyone together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we did verse 25 last time. So verse 25 talks about avyakto yam chintyo pyam avikarya amuchyate tasmad devam viditvainam nanu chochatum arakasi. So here Krishna talks about the different nature of the soul, and it tells Arjun that the description of the soul, it is said that the soul is invisible. In Prabhupada translation, he says that soul is invisible, it is inconceivable and immutable. You can't clone the soul, So it is immutable, it is irreversible, it is immutable. So knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. So the discussion is only about the Atma and the body, which is residing in that body. So Arjuna had a lot of questions because he asked it in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where he is lamenting upon why does he have to kill the people of to whom he has played with in his childhood, and they are his siblings, though they are cousins, his gurus and his spiritual masters, all those people. Why does he have to kill them? And what is he going to gain out of it? So all those doubts are there in his mind. And that's the reason he is lamenting still, and Krishna is trying to convince him by giving lots of justifications, not justifications, but the reasoning behind and the scriptural reasoning uh, on account of the existence of the soul, that what soul is all about, whether you can see the soul or you cannot see the soul, how the soul acts. So in verse 25, Krishna says that avyaktoyam, as Srila Prabhupada has translated, invisible or unmanifest. So we can't perceive the soul with our senses. We can't perceive the soul with our gross sensory faculties. And he further says, achintyo yam, the soul is also inconceivable. If the soul is inconceivable, then how can we conceive it? In fact, we can also say that what is the need to conceive it also? Let me live happily in the bodily construct of life. Let me not bother about soul business. But the point is, unless we think about the soul, we cannot understand what life is ultimately meant for. Because life at the level of the body will soon be destroyed and will be terminated. So achintyo yam. So Srila Prabhupada means achintyo yam means we cannot conceive soul by our own endeavors, and we need scriptural guidance with our logical inference. We cannot think about of certain to a certain extent about soul. We can get some understanding, but if one wants deeper understanding, one has to look at the scriptural tradition, scriptural injunction. And that's where we need to get the shelter of the scriptures. And that's where we can understand the knowledge. And who should be able to give us that knowledge is the spiritual master. So whatever we are repeating, whatever I am repeating are the words of the spiritual masters or whatever is written in the books, whether the spiritual master is a Shiksha Guru or is a Diksha Guru, it doesn't matter. And there are so many Shiksha Gurus that we hear the lectures from and, also read in the Bhagavad Gita, which is written purely the translation as well as purport by Srila Prabhupada. So Achintya doesn't mean entirely inconceivable. It simply means that it cannot be conceivable by our independent speculation. We get some indication, but for a deeper understanding, we need scriptural knowledge. So avikaryo yam uchyate. Vikara means change. Asthanu also means unchangeable. So Srila Prabhupada refers to the 6 changes through which body undergoes. That is creation, growth, reproduction, preservation, deterioration, destruction. So these 6 changes the body undergoes, and the soul does not undergo through these 6 changes. Soul is neutral in all these changes. See, every moment of our life, the cells of the body are changing, but do we realize that? We get the realization only when one of our friends comes and sees us after many years or after maybe few months. Oh, you gone, or you're looking very thin, or you're looking, you have gained some weight or something like that. So or you're looking fairer than what you were, but probably you must have gone to a beauty parlor, and that's why you are looking fairer, probably. So the cells are undergoing the change, and these cells change, we don't even realize that every day our cells, new cells are getting produced, and the old cells are falling down, and we don't even realize that. But who is neutral in the body is the soul, the Atma, which is neutral. And we don't even realize that it's all happening. Soul doesn't even realize that that is happening. And even we don't realize that. So these 6 changes, which are bodily changes, and the soul does not undergo those 6 changes. So it remains avikaryo yamuchyate. So tasmad evam viditvainam. So knowing soul to be thus nalos kochitum arhasi, do not lament. So you do not lament for that. We will see Now, the Nanu Shochitum Arhasi and its meaning, we have repeated this in the 2.13 as well. And now again, this is coming over here. So what is the connection between first part and the second part? First part is actually the soul is a vikarya. It will not grow old. It is not going to die. It is always the same. So Srila Prabhupada has explained Bhishma and Drona, for whom Arjun was concerned, will get new bodies. They will neither get spiritual bodies if they are liberated, which will happen when they are dying in Shri Krishna's presence, or they will get elevated bodies based on their overall karma of this life as well as earlier lifetimes. So, if their bodies or their old bodies go, then new body comes to. So, what is the cause for lamentation for that? He's asking Arjun. So, why do you worry? Even then, if they are dying in front of me and if they have done good karmas, they will come to my abode anyway. So you should not be lamenting upon, because the soul is indestructible, soul is neutral, the body is changing every time, and the body will undergo another change when they die. You should not be lamenting for the body, because the soul, which belongs to Drona or Bhishma, that soul has the karma associated with it. Based on those karmas, the next life is going to be determined. If they have not done bad karmas, they probably get to my abode, that's Krishna is saying. And if they are not, then probably they will get to at least a higher elevated planet where they can live for thousands or millions of years. And there they will live happily. There is the guarantee, Krishna says. So now we come to verse 26. Any questions so far? Okay. So we chant the verse 26. Those who can chant, please repeat. Atha tainam nityajatam. Please unmute yourself. Atha chainam nityajatam.
अथ चैनं नित्यजातं
Nityam va manyase mritam.
नित्यं वा
मन्यसे मृतम्
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो.
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो
नयनं शोचितुमर्हसि.
नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि
Repeat. अथ चैनं नित्यजातम्.
अथ चैनं
चैनं नित्यजातं
नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतम्.
नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतम्
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो.
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो
नयनं शोचितुमर्हसि.
नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि
I hope now you got the words correct. Now we'll chant one line at a time. Atha chainam nityajatam nityam va manyase mritam.
चैनं नित्यजातं
नित्यं
नित्यं वा
मन्यसे
मन्यसे
मृतम्
मृतम्
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि.
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो
नैनं
नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि
Okay, now full verse in one go. I'll say and then you repeat. Atha chainam nityajatam nityam va manyase mritam tathapi tvam mahabaho nainam shochitumarhasi.
अथ चैनं नित्यजातं
नित्यजातं
नित्यं वा
नित्यं
मन्यसे
वा
मृतम्
मन्यसे मृतम्
तथापि
तथापि
त्वं
त्वं
महाबाहो
महाबाहो
Nainam
Nainam
Shocitumarhasi.
shocitumarhasi.
Wonderful. Now, word to word. Atha, if. Repeat. You have to repeat. Okay. Rishi, do you have the Bhagavad Gita as it is book with you?
I have it on my next other screen.
Oh, okay. Better to have the book in hand.
Yes, yes.
Atha, if.
Atha if,
Atha if.
However, cha,
however,
cha also.
cha
Also.
also,
Enam, this soul.
Nainam the soul,
This soul.
Nitya jatam, always born.
Nitya
Nitya
Jatam,
jatam.
always
Always
born,
born.
Nityam, forever.
Nityam
Nityam.
forever,
Forever.
Va, either.
Va.
either,
Either.
Manyase, you so think.
Manyase,
Manyase. You so think.
Mritam, dead.
Mritam
Mritam.
dead,
Dead.
Tatha, api, still.
Tatha api,
Tathapi.
still,
Still.
Tvam, you.
Tvam,
Tvam.
you,
You.
Mahabaho, O mighty armed one.
Mahabaho,
Mahabaho.
Almighty armed
Almighty
one,
armed one.
Na, never.
Na,
No. Never.
Enam, about the soul.
Enam. About the
about
soul.
Shochitum, to lament.
Sochitum.
to lament,
Lament.
Arhasi, deserve.
Arhasi,
Arhasi. Deserve.
Yeah. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If, however, you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty aunt. He's calling him specifically Krishna Mahabaho, because he is the person who is like, who can fire 1 million arrows in fraction of a second. He has Mahabaho with so many arms. Probably he was so fast that he could, fire those many number of arrows in fraction of a second. So he was that powerful, Arjun. So he is trying to actually sarcastically telling him that you are Mahabaho and you are lamenting upon this particular, even if you think that, okay, the soul is dying here, but it will reborn. It will reborn and get another body. Then why do you worry? Gaurgopal Prabhu, one lecture, he was saying that if you have a problem, can you resolve it? Then why do you worry? Can you not resolve it? Then why do you worry? In both the cases, why do you worry? I mean, worry is something which you cannot do about it. So then why do you worry? So in the same case here, he's saying that you are Mahabaho. Even if you think that by killing them, you are killing the soul is reborn, and again he will get the body, then why do you worry about it? Here the question of fighting the battle has come, and now at this point in time, you are creating all this drama. You are thinking about them. You should have thought it before coming to the battlefield. Now you are a Mahabaho. Now you are asking these kind of questions. So it doesn't mean anything, But Arjun, being the friend and the devotee as well at the same time, he was chastised by Krishna. He was uh, convinced by Krishna on various aspects of the life. And that's where, the translation goes and the specific words that he has used in the verses, the meaning that is given by Srila Prabhupada in his translation and the purport. Now, let's read the purport. Saloni, do you want to read the purport, please?
There is always a class of philosophers almost akin to the Buddhists who do not believe in the separate existence of the soul beyond the body. When Lord Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, it appears that such philosophers existed, and when they were known as Lokayatikas and Vaishvasikas, such philosophers maintain that life systems take place at a certain mature condition of material combination. The modern material scientists and materialist philosophers also think similarly. According to them, the body is a combination of physical elements, and at a certain stage, the life symptoms develop by interaction of the physical and chemicals element. The science of anthropology is based on this philosophy. Currently, many pseudo religions now becoming fashionable in America, or also adhering to the philosophy, as are the nihilistic, non-devotional Buddhist sects.
Yeah, go on.
Even if Arjun did not believe in the existence of the soul, excuse me, as in the Vaibhashika philosophy, there would still have been no cause of lamentation. No one laments to the loss of a certain bulk of chemicals and and hang on and
Are you
stop
okay?
discharging the prescribed duty. On the other hand, in modern science and scientist warfare, so many tons of chemicals are wasted for achieving victory over the enemy. According to the Vaibhashika philosophy, the so-called soul or Atma vanishes along with the deteriorations of the body. So, in any case, whether Arjun accepted the Vedic conclusion that there is an atomic soul or he did not believe in the existence of the soul, he had no reason to lament. According to this theory, since there are so many living entities generating out of matter every moment, and so many of them are being vanquished every moment, there is no need to grieve for such incidents. If there were no rebirth for the soul, Arjun had no reason to be afraid of being affected by sinful reaction due to his killing his grandfather and teacher. But at the same time, Krishna sarcastically addressed Arjuna as Mahabahu, mighty arm, because he at least did not accept the theory of the Vaibhasika, which leaves aside the Vedic wisdom. As a Kshatriya, Arjun belonged to the Vedic culture, and it is behooved him to continue to follow its principle.
Such a beautiful purport, really, isn't it?
Yes.
So Krishna says that Atha Chainam, if, however, Nitya Jatam, the soul is always born, and Nityam Va Manyase Mritam, then it is always destroyed. Tathapi Tam Mahabaho. Therefore, even then, O Arjun, Nayanam Shochitum Arhasi. So, the same point is repeated. The conclusion is that don't lament, don't do shoka. Shoka means to lament. Yeah. So, what it meant here, Shri Krishna is talking about the atheistic reductionist philosophy present at that time, and there are philosophy like that present even today, which claim that actually life begins with chemical composition at the time of birth. When there is chemical deterioration, life is destroyed. And that's why Srila Prabhupada is talking about that, that chemicals are getting wasted. Then what is the problem? So this school of thought reduces life to just a set of biochemicals which live for some time and which die thereafter. So this kind of understanding of life as just a set of biochemicals that has come alive, which is today promoted in the name of science. However, science has never been able to bring or produce life from biochemicals. There has been experiments which claim to produce artificial life, but if we look at seriously what this has been, if it is not artificial life, It is simply manipulation of real life to bring about something else, which is slightly modified. So nowadays, many research institutes, in order to attract funds and in order to gain prestige, use spin doctors. Spin doctors means they are media experts, and what they are doing. They are media expert who knows how to phrase things in such a way that it will catch attention. So because that when they use such words like artificial life created and it catches attention, but if we see actually what is done, it is not artificial life creation. It is simply basically, for example, they will take some DNA from existing setup and then they replicate that same DNA and then they make some modification in that, slightly change, and it then let the thing grow, and then they claim that it is new life and life emerges. So now they say we have created artificial life, but the structure through life has come that only they have modified, but how life comes about this is not really known. So it is like music. If I have a soundtrack and on which music is there, and then I replace soundtrack, sound comes, and if I take soundtrack and just change it little bit and place it in some other medium, then on that medium, sound plays slightly different. So now the soundtrack is definitely connected with the sound, but the sound has not just originated from the soundtrack. The sound was spoken by somebody and the sound is heard by somebody. So the soundtrack is the medium through which sound comes, and soundtrack can be manipulated and changed slightly so that the sound can become changed by soundtrack here. So what does it mean that physical medium on which sound is stored now is only changed? Like maybe from the CD, we bring it to a USB or maybe a external hard disk. It is only the medium has been changed, but is the original sound changed? No. So this is only the fooling around with the people and trying to attract their attention. So, oh, I did such a big thing, by doing so. However, they are not able to, generate the original sound, which actually means the jiva. That is the actual jiva in that sense. Does that make sense to all of us? Yeah. Any questions, Matthew? Okay. Devlina?
Actually, I have a question. So, if soul is indestructible and we don't have any feelings of when we die, the soul doesn't have sort of feelings. So, where does this concept come of hell and heaven? Because people say, oh, if you have done certain sins in this lifetime, you're gonna go to hell and you're gonna get punished. But then
Karma.
soul doesn't have any.
You forgot about the karma that we discussed.
But then soul doesn't have any body. How is it going to feel the pain?
No, soul does have a body. Soul has a body which is called a subtle body and the gross body. Gross body is the material body which we see. The subtle body is body, mind, and false ego that we carry. So when we die, what goes along with the soul is the false ego and your mind intelligence. What kind of intelligence you have created? Like a butcher has the intelligence which he has developed is to kill. Butchering only the animals. So that is the kind of intelligence he has developed.
So when does it stop? Like you said, the butcher, that's the intelligence he has built up, killing only.
Because
so when will that soul change?
yeah, so butcher didn't have any option because he has been put into that what do you call business because of either maybe due to the legacy that he has come from, or because he couldn't do anything else, he could only do that work. He didn't have any choice. So it is only the option that he had. So life is either made up of choices or the options that you have. What is the option you have? What do you prepare to do? What do you propose to do? Right?
Yeah.
If somebody is not able to earn money out of any of the other means, then he will find some means by which he can earn, his livelihood. And that livelihood can be this, because he has to feed his family, he has to feed himself. Right?
Okay.
So the karma which is coming along is because of the way we are feeding to the mind and developing our intelligence around. And carrying a false ego, whether I am a minister, I'm a teacher, I'm a husband, or I'm a wife, or whatever. So that false ego that always carry, like, oh, I'm a cop, I'm a head cop, like that. So that's the false ego we live with. And the moment you get retired, you are ex-cop. Then you don't have anything in your hand. Only thing you have is the government facilities that probably the cop will have after getting retired. So the false ego is something which is temporary, but you always carry it. Like, I always give an example of a high court judge. High court judge, a lady or a man, at in the high court he is a judge. At home uh, he can be husband, can be wife, can be a parent, can be a son or daughter to some parents, right? So you have various roles to play. But the false ego is always changing. If he comes home and says, oh, I am a judge, don't talk to me like this, people will not want to listen to him, right? At home. Is that going to work? No. Because he is a judge in the high court only. He is not judge at home. Does it make sense? So subtle body and the gross body, these two differences we need to understand very clearly. Have I answered your question, Devlina?
Yes.
Okay. Any other question? So we go to verse 27. I say you repeat. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur.
Yeah.
Jatasya hi dhruvo
तस्य हि
mrityur.
ध्रुवो मृत्युः
Dhruvam janma mritasya cha.
ध्रुवं जन्मामृतस्य च
Mritasya cha.
Tasmat apariharyerthe.
Tasmat
तस्मात्
pariharyate.
परिहार्यर्थे
Na tvam sochitumarhasi.
न
Natam
त्वं
suchitam
शोचितुमर्हसि
Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur.
Jatasya
जातस्य
hi
हि
dhruvo mrityur.
ध्रुवोर्मृत्युः
Janma mrityus. Sorry. Dhruvam janma mrityusya cha.
Dhruvo
ध्रुवं जन्म
janma
मृत्युस्य च
Tasmat apariharyerthe.
Tasmad
तस्मात्
pariharyate.
परिहार्येऽर्थे
Na tvam sochitumarhasi.
न
Not
त्वं
Natam suchitam
शोचितुमर्हसि
arhasi.
Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur.
just
Jatasya
जातस्य
hi
हि
dhruvo mrityur.
ध्रुवोर्मृत्युः
Dhruvam janma mrityasya cha.
Dhruvam
ध्रुवं
janma
जन्म
mrityusya.
मृत्युस्य च
Tasmat apariharyerthe.
Tasmat
तस्माद्
pariharyate.
परिहार्येऽर्थे
Na tvam sochitumarhasi.
not
न
Natam
त्वं
suchitam arhasi.
शोचितुमर्हसि
Now, one line at a time. Jatasya hi dhruvar mrityur Dhruvam Janma Mritasya Cha.
Jatasya
जातस्य हि
ध्रुवो
ध्रुवोर्मृत्युः
Dhruvam
ध्रुवं जन्म
Janma
मृत्युस्य च
Tasmat Apariharyarthe Tanatvam Sochitumarhasi.
तस्माद् परिहार्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि.
Matthew, you are trying, right?
Am I?
You're trying to
Oh,
recite?
oh yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Jatasya hi dhruvormrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha.
जातस्य हि ध्रुवोर्मृत्युः
Mrityu Dhruvam
ध्रुवं
Janma
जन्म
Mritasya
मृत्युस्य च
Tasmat apariharyarthe natvam sochitumarhasi.
तस्मात् परिहार्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि.
The full verse in one go. Jatasya hi dhruvormrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Tasmat apariharyarthe natvam shochitumarhasi.
जातस्य हि ध्रुवोर्मृत्युः
Dhruvam
ध्रुवं जन्म मृत्युस्य च तस्मात् परिहार्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि.
Now, word to word. Jatasya, of one who has taken his birth.
Jatasya of one
of
who has
one who
taken
has
his
taken
birth,
his birth.
He certainly.
he
He
certainly,
Dhruva, of fact.
Dhruva of
Dhruva
fact,
of fact,
Mrityu, death.
Mrityu
Mrityu,
death,
death.
Dhruvam, it is also a fact.
Dhruvam it is
Dhruvam
also
is
a
also
fact,
a fact.
Janma, birth.
Janma
Janma,
birth,
birth.
Mritasya, of the dead.
Mritasya
Mritasya,
the dead,
of the dead.
Cha, also.
Cha
Cha
also,
also.
Tasmat, therefore.
Tasmat,
Tasmat therefore,
therefore.
Apariharye, of that which is unavoidable.
Apariharye,
of that
of
which is
that which is
unavoidable,
unavoidable.
Arthe, in the matter.
Ashte
Arthe, in the matter.
Na, do not.
Na,
na,
do
do
not.
not,
Tvam, you.
Tvam, you,
You.
Shochitum, to lament.
so
Sochitum, to
lament,
lament.
Arhasi, deserve.
Arhasi, deserve.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who has taken his birth is sure to die. And after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Such a beautiful statement.
Hmm.
Read it again. One who has taken his birth is sure to die. And after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Yeah. So, Matthew would like to read the purport, please.
One has to take birth according to one's activities of life. And after finishing one term of activities, one has to die to take birth for the next. In this way, one is going through one cycle of birth and death after another without liberation. This cycle of birth and death does not, however, support unnecessary murder, slaughter, and war. But at the same time, violence and war are inevitable factors in human society for keeping law and order. The Battle of Kurukshetra, being the will of the Supreme, was an inevitable event, and to fight for the right cause is the duty of the Kshatriya. Why would he be afraid of or aggrieved at the death of his relatives, since he was discharging his proper duty? He did not deserve to break the law, thereby becoming subjected to the reactions of sinful acts, of which he was so afraid. By avoiding the discharge of his proper duty, he would not be able to stop the death of his relatives, and he would be degraded due to his selection of the wrong path of action.
Wonderful. So, Very nice explanation by Srila Prabhupada. So Jatasya, he dhruvo mrityu. So now, either way, if one thinks that there is only body, no soul, but still we know it is a universal fact that whoever is born has to die. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu. Dhruva, it is certain fact. Similarly, dhruvam janma mrityuscha. Similarly, once we accept the reincarnation of soul, we understand that after death, one will get the body. So here, the meaning of incarnation comes into picture. So what is reincarna? Actually, incarna means the flesh. So getting a new flesh on the body. Yeah. So we are getting that incarna every day, but we don't realize that, isn't it? And when we talk about this way that you are going to be reincarnated once you leave this body, then there is a fear in the heart. Oh, going to reincarnation means I'm going to leave this body, that I'm going to die, isn't it? Though we are reading this Shastra at this point in time, if we think it in a real terms, we get scared in the heart, isn't it? Oh my God, I'm going to die and then again going to come. That's all okay, but I'm going to die. That feeling is not that easy to digest, isn't it? Is anyone happy with that? No.
No, even coming back is also a big pain.
That is, of course, there but there is only one good thing which Krishna is saying, that if you have enough, spiritual bank balance, then probably you have better chances of getting less pain in the next life. Yeah, you may get birth in the higher family, you may get birth in the family of Donald Trump, where you already have a lot of money. Or maybe you get a birth in the family of Dhirubhai Ambani, in the
That's
Reliance.
better.
Yeah. So our spiritual bank balance is much more important. So when we are thinking about this coming back or whatever. So he says that tasmad, tasmad apariharyate natvam sochitum. So the connection between this and previous verse is if we just consider life to be bunch of chemicals, then also why to lament, as chemicals are existing everywhere? And by the principle of conservation of energy, E equal to mc square, none of the chemicals are permanently destroyed. All that happens is their form is changed temporarily. So they were in the form a person right now. Now they will become lump of asses. So why lament? But Krishna is saying, Arjun, you are not that kind of beings. So Jatasya, everyone who has born has to die. That is Jatasya. If you don't fight this battle, what will happen? Your elders are going to die. And they are going to get next birth also. So rather than giving up your duty to avoid that which is unavoidable, do your duty and thereby you will attain an auspicious destination. So by giving up your duty, you cannot avoid unavoidable that is going to come to everyone. Therefore, do your duty. So natam shochitum arhasi. So better to do your duty rather than running away from what you are supposed to be doing, and when you have come to the battlefield and now you are thinking about all this. But it is all Krishna's plan ultimately. That Krishna creates all this situation. But why Krishna has chosen only Arjun to ask this question, why he has not chosen Bhishma, Bhima or Nakul, Sahadev or Yudhishthira Maharaj to do so? There is a plan, right? Because whenever Krishna comes here, yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sajamya paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya dushkritam. So now, paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya dushkritam is more important. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So he has come here to annihilate the demons and also to glorify his devotee who is Arjuna. He is a friend as well as a devotee of Krishna. So that's why Arjuna has been chosen there, because he was the devotee as well. Yeah. I know Saloni wants to go, so I'm just worried about timing as well.
You
Can we
carry
do
on
one more
because
verse, Saloni, with your permission or no?
yeah, sure, you can carry on because I'll watch the recording. So
I shouldn't be recording then anymore.
no, keep recording, please.
You can stay as long as you can.
Yep, sure.
Okay. Any questions before I jump on to 28? Matthew, Rishi, Dev, Saloni, no one. Avyaktadini bhutani.
Vyaktadini bhutani.
Vyaktamadhyani bharat.
Vyaktam
व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत
Avyakta nidhananyeva.
अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव
Tatra ka paridevana.
Tatra ka
तत्र का
paridevana.
परिदेवना
Avyaktadini bhutani.
अव्यक्तादीनि
Bhutani.
भूतानि
Vyaktamadhyani bharat.
Vyaktamadhyani
व्यक्तमध्यानि
bharata.
भारत
Avyakta nidhananyeva.
Avyaktanidhanam.
अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव
Tatra ka paridevana.
Tatra
तत्र
ka
का
paridevana.
परिदेवना
Full one line at a time. Avyaktadini bhutani. Vyaktamadhyani bharat.
Avyaktaadini
अव्यक्तादीनि
bhutani.
भूतानि
Vyaktamadhyani
व्यक्तमध्यानि
bharata.
भारत
Avyakta nidhananyeva. Tatra ka paridevana.
अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव
Avyaktanidhanamiva. Tatra ka
तत्र का
paridevana.
परिदेवना
Full shloka at a time. Avyaktadini bhutani. Vyaktamadhyani bharat. Avyakta nidhananyeva. Tatra ka paridevana.
Avyaktaadini
अव्यक्तादीनि
bhutani.
भूतानि
Vyaktamadhyani
व्यक्तमध्यानि
bharata.
भारत
Avyaktanidhanamiva.
अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव
Tatra
तत्र
ka
का परिदेवना
paridevana.
Wonderful. Word to word. Avyakta adini. In the beginning, unmanifested.
Avyaktadini, in the beginning unmanifested.
Bhutani. All that are created.
Bhutani, all that
all
are
that are created.
Vyakta. Vyakta means manifested.
Yeah.
Vyakta,
Manifested.
Madhyani. In the middle.
Madhyani, in the
Madhyani
middle.
in the middle.
Bharata. O descendant of Bharata.
O
Bharata,
Bharata,
O
O descendant
descendant
of
of
Bharata.
Avyakta. Non-manifested.
Avyakta,
Avyakta,
non-manifested.
non-manifested.
Nidhanani. When vanquished.
Nidhanani,
Nidhanani, when
vanquished.
vanquished.
Eva. It is all like that.
Eva, it is
Eva,
all like
it is
that.
all like that.
Tatra. Therefore.
Tatra,
Tatra,
therefore.
therefore.
Ka. What?
Ka,
Ka, what?
Paridevana. Lamentation.
Paridevana,
Paridevana,
lamentation.
lamentation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All created beings are unmanifested in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So, what need is there for lamentation? I repeat again. all created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So, what need is there for the lamentation? Rishi, can you read purport, please?
Hare Krishna. Accepting that there are two classes of philosophers, one believing in the existence of the soul and the other not believing in the existence of the soul.
A little bit louder, please.
There is no cause for lamentation in either case. Non-believers in the existence of the soul are called atheists by followers of Vedic wisdom. Yet, even if, for argument's sake, we accept this atheist theory, there is still no cause for lamentation. Apart from the separate existence of the soul, the material elements remain unmanifested before creation. From this subtle state of non-manifestation comes manifestation. Just as from ether, air is generated. From air, fire is generated. From fire, water is generated. And from water, earth becomes manifested. From the earth, many varieties of manifestations take place. Take, for example, a big skyscraper manifested from the earth. When it is dismantled, the manifestation becomes again unmanifested and remains as atoms in the ultimate stage. The law of conservation of energy remains. But in course of time, things are manifested and unmanifested. That is the difference. Then what cause is there for lamentation either in the stage of manifestation or unmanifestation? Somehow or other, even in the unmanifested stage, things are not lost. Both at the beginning and at the end, all elements remain unmanifested. And only in the middle, they are manifested. And this does not make any real material difference. And if we accept the Vedic conclusion as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, that these material bodies are perishable in due course of time, anta vananta ime deha, but that's the soul is eternal, nitya soktha sharirinaha. Then we must remember always that the body is like a dress. Therefore, why lament the changing of a dress? The material body has no factual existence in relation to the eternal soul. It is something like a dream. In a dream, we may think of lying in the skies or sitting on a chariot as a king. But when we wake up, we can see that we are neither the sky nor seated on the chariot. The Vedic wisdom encourages self-realization on the basis of the non-existence of the material body. Therefore, in either case, whether one believes in the existence of the soul or one does not believe in the existence of the soul, there is no cause for lamentation for loss of the body. Hare Krishna.
That's a beautiful explanation, and the verse is also so nice. So here says that avyaktani bhutani. Initially, everything is unmanifested. So vyakta madhyani bharata. Then they become manifested, and again it becomes unmanifest, and then manifest. So therefore, what is the cause of lamentation? That means, as far as chemicals are concerned, if the body is just a lump of chemicals, then they are initially not alive. Yeah, initially they are not alive. And now they become alive temporarily, and after that they die. So chemical transformation is constantly happening, and life is just reduced to chemicals. Then all emotions ultimately becomes meaningless. So then ultimately everything becomes meaningless. So mother loves the child. Why mother love the child? Well, actually just come some chemicals are created in the brain, and because some chemicals are created in the brain of mother, so mother loves the child. So we reduce love down to some chemicals creation. Is it this idea that really goes properly in our mind? But can we even believe such kind of a logic that because there is some chemical which is created in the brain and that's why you started loving the child? No, it is a natural thing that mother loves the child. Mother is the first guru of the child. And because love is a kind exchange of uh, exchange of uh, certain things, because of which there is a love from child to the mother as well. The love is an expression which is getting transferred between the two living beings, mother and child, a boy and a girl, father and daughter, father and a son, like that. So it is the exchange of expression which is happening, and because of which there is a love. There's no chemical reaction. Because today I have taken sulfuric acid, so I will start loving somebody. No, it doesn't happen that way, right? So love is a natural phenomena that happens between the two bodies. People also love their pet dog, pet cat, or parrot, or any birds for that matter, So the love is an exchange of the expressions that is happening between the two. Or one to many, maybe. Because a mother loves all the children that she has. So it is the exchange of expression that is happening. It is not the reaction of any chemicals or because of some chemicals they just came. Today I have taken one tablet of love, so I will start living from tomorrow. It doesn't happen that way. It is the expression or exchange of expression between the two bodies. And due to that, it happens. Yeah. So we have completed till verse 28. From next week, we'll do 29 onwards. So please read from 29 to at least 33 verse, including the purport, so that you are not getting any surprise of your life that what we are reading now. Yeah. So it is better to read because Prabhupada's books are so beautiful, They give you some understanding, and remaining I'm trying to explain in the class. And if you still have any question, you can always call me or text me on WhatsApp. That's what Matthew does. And also Salori does sometimes. Devalina always does. She always troubles me. The troublemaker.
I'm the only one who can trouble Prabhuji, making it clear to the new ones.
All right. So I think we'll close it here today. We'll chant Vaishnava Pranam and then, Saru, do you want to start? Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagavan ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol.